Hi everyone, this is Miss Yana and I will be your math teacher for this school year. Now in this presentation, I'll be discussing about patterns and sequences. But before we proceed to our formal discussion, let me first set our objectives for today. Okay? So at the end of the presentation, you will be able to define and illustrate a sequence, generate a pattern, and lastly, to be able to give the next nth term of a given sequence. Now, my presentation will be in three parts. Let me just give you the outline. So in the first part of this presentation, I'll be talking about some real-life applications of patterns and sequences. In the second part, I'll be defining what a sequence is, and also I'll be giving out some illustrations and examples. And finally, I'll go on to discuss about on how to generate a pattern of a given sequence. Okay, now let's start. Okay. So I know you're wondering why we need to study the concept about sequence. Now to answer that question, I have prepared some of the concrete applications of sequence and patterns in our daily life. To start with, we have the chapters of a book. So a sequence plays a vital role when reading stories or any narrative text, since it helps us gain better understanding on what we're reading by keeping track of the transition of the events through the chapters, through each chapters, okay? Next example, we have the months of the year. This is also an example of a sequence. Why? For example, after January, we know that it will always come February. It is not possible if we go from September to December, since it has to go on a sequence. And my third and final example is the puzzle game Tower of Hanoi. Now in this game, a player is to move only one tower at a time. Also, a larger disk can never be placed onto a smaller disk, hence a sequence. Now, the common denominator of all these applications is that all of them follows a certain order. Now, at this point in time, it's your turn. Can you cite another example of a real-life application of sequence and pattern? I'll be looking forward to your answers. Just leave a comment on our LMS chat box. And I'll be checking that one as soon as this presentation ends. Let us now define what a sequence is. A sequence is a list of things, usually numbers that are in order. So when we say the terms are in order, it means we are free to define what order that is. They could go forward, they could go backwards, or they could alternate, or any type of order we want. Okay? As long as may pattern na sinusundan. Okay, so tingnan natin ngayon. Let's have an example. You have 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on and so forth. Now, I have a question for you. Okay, so does the given sequence follow a certain order or pattern? If yes, what could the pattern be? Okay, so in the first look, merong common properties yung mga numbers na to. If your answer is that the numbers differ by 2, okay, that's correct. That's correct also. However, I'll go for the more obvious one. Obviously, these are odd numbers. Hence, this sequence is an example of a sequence of odd numbers. And although we will still consider that one, yung nagdi-differ by 2, kasi totoo naman, it makes sense. The numbers really do differ by 2. You see, this is the power of math. Okay? Parang in general, mathematics is very powerful. Okay? So, that is why sometimes a particular sequence can, a particular sequence has more than one rule. Just like dito sa example natin. Okay, now, so with that being said, let us now define some of the terminologies that we'll be encountering all throughout this unit. Okay, so to start with, we have each number in a sequence is called a term. So, bawat number na nandito sa sequence natin, ang tawag dyan ay term. Okay, so let's label them. 3 as our first term. Syempre, whatever or kung ano man yung unang number na sinulat natin doon sa sequence, automatically that is our first term. Followed by our second term, third, fourth, fifth, and so on and so forth. Now, here's one more thing that you should pay attention to. Sa sequence, syempre hindi ko naman isusulat ng ganito talaga kahaba yung bawat term pag i-label ko. Kaya ang ginagamit natin, may mga denotations tayong gagamitin. So, ito yan. Okay? So, each term is denoted by this subscript notation. So, this subscript notation is read as A sub n, where A is the term. So, si A, ang nire-represent niya is yung mismong number na nandito sa sequence. And you have n, the subscript n is the position of the term. So, kung pang ilan yung term na yun dun sa sequence natin. And since we're talking about the position of the term in the given sequence, therefore, the values of n, okay, the values of n are all counting numbers. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Ang magiging number niya, tingnan mo yung order dito. Di ba? You have 1, 2, 3, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So, ibig sabihin, yung values ni n ay magsisimula kay 1, kay 2, para kang nagbibilang lang, kumbaga. Ganun. Okay, so here is how you write the denotations. So instead of writing this whole phrase, ang gagamitin na lang natin ay itong denotation na to. So you have A sub 1 is for first term, A sub 2 is for second term, A sub 3 third term, A sub 4 fourth term, si A sub 5 ay fifth term. So si A sub n, siya yung parang general notation ng nth term ng sequence. Okay. So, minsan, maririnig nyo ako na baka ang gagamitin kong, instead na term, ang gagamitin ko ay element. Or minsan naman, ang gagamitin ko na word ay member. But don't worry, don't be confused kasi isa lang ang ibig nilang sabihin. Yun pa rin yung mga values na nandito sa sequence natin. Okay. Now, what is the role of these three dots? Una, ang tawag natin dito ay ellipsis. It means that this sequence goes on forever. So, wala siyang limit. May forever sa kanya. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin lang dito, the rest of the terms were omitted, pero kasi hindi natin malilista lahat ng odd numbers, kaya ang ginawa na lang natin, yun yung silbi ng ellipsis. Siya na lang yung ilalagay mo instead na ililista mo pa lahat ng mga terms. Okay? So, lahat ng mga terms na yan, ang pinapalo nilang rule or ang pinapalo nilang pattern ay mga odd numbers sila. Okay? Tapos, minsan, ang makikita mo minsan kung paano sinusulat yung sequence that gumagamit sila ng mga brackets. Okay lang yun? Kasi nga, sequence is a subset of sets. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila, kay set, order doesn't matter. Kay sequence, importante yung order, yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga terms. Okay? Kasi nga, yun yung parang paraan or it is the way na kung paano natin mahanap yung mga missing terms or yung mga succeeding terms ng given na sequence. Okay? May pina-follow siyang rule. A sequence can either be a finite sequence or an infinite sequence. Now, let us discuss the difference of these two kinds of sequence. Okay, so what is a finite sequence? Okay, it is a sequence with a definite number of terms. So when we say definite, it means bounded, limited, measured, restricted. Bilang mo lang yung kung ilang terms meron lahat doon sa given na sequence. And since measured siya, so ibig sabihin, the first and the last terms are clearly identified. Ibig sabihin, maibibigay natin agad yung value ng first term at ng last term natin. So here are some examples of finite sequence. Okay, example number 1, you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So the total number of terms is 5. And this is the sequence of the first 5 even numbers. Ngayon, Miss, paano po pag ang sinulat ko po ay sequence of ng multiples of 2? Pwede din yun as long as ma-justify mo yung pattern mo, i-consider ko yun. Okay? As long as the pattern makes sense, then we will consider that. Okay? Next. So, our first term here is 2 and our last term is 10. Ngayon ko itatanong, Miss, paano nyo po nakuha yung 5 na subscript? Okay? So, ang titingnan lang natin dito ay ang total number of terms na meron doon sa given na sequence. So, since 5 lang yan, so ang huling subscript natin ay 5. Okay, next. Example number 2. You have LISA. So, the total number of terms is 4. And this is the sequence of letters in the name Lisa. So, our first term is L and our last term is A. Next, for example number 3, you have 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on and so forth. Meron tayong ellipses, pero this is still an example of a finite sequence because the last term is still given. So, this ellipsis only implies that there are terms in between 7 and 23. So, you have to determine those terms for you to be able to identify the total number of terms in the given sequence. So, count with me. Kasi, hanapin muna natin yung pattern na. So, anong ginawa natin kay 1 na ginawa para maging 3 siya? Tapos, anong ginawa natin kay 3 para maging 5 siya? Na ginawa rin natin kay 5 para maging 7 siya. Diba? Parang inad lang natin ng 2. However, hindi sila multiples of 2. Hindi rin sila even numbers. Sila ay mga odd numbers. So, mas madali yun since odd numbers. Ang kasunod ni 7 ay si 9. So, bilangin natin kung ilang terms. Kaya hanggang marating natin si 23. So, you have 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, and 21. So, after 21, 23 na. So, there are 7 terms. So, 7 terms na in between 7 and 23. So, 7 plus 5 na given dito. So, the total number of terms is 12. Okay? So, this is a sequence of the first 12 odd numbers. So, our first term is 1 and our last term is 23. So, for example, number 4, you have negative 2, 4, negative 8, 16, negative 32. Okay? So, the total number of terms is 5. And our pattern here is that the terms have alternating signs. So, yan, negative is naging positive, is negative ulit. And are doubled. Yan yung pinaka-obvious na pattern niya. Pero, pag meron kang ibang naging sagot, like, means the absolute value of each term is actually the powers of 2. Tama din yun. Okay? So, the first term here is negative 2 and our last term is negative 32. At this point, let me just show you the parts of a finite sequence. The first term and your last term, they serve as your extremes. Ibig sabihin, sila ay yung limit ng isang finite sequence. While these terms, which are in between the two boundaries, yung two limits natin, yung two extremes, they are called the means. So, yan yung parts ng isang finite na sequence. Okay, so infinite sequence, on the other hand, is a sequence with no definite number of terms. Okay, so when you say infinite, this is the actually the complete opposite of a finite sequence. Okay, di ba sa finite, definite yung, may limit yung number of terms. So dito sa infinite sequence, unlimited yung number of terms. So hindi natin maililista lahat ng mga terms na nandun sa sequence. Okay, so here are some examples of infinite sequence. Okay, so I have 4 examples here. Now, before ko sila i-explain isa-isa, let me ask you first, anong common property na meron yung bawat example dito? Okay? So, lahat sila ay merong ellipsis. And as what I've said earlier, ellipsis, it means that the sequence goes on forever. Ibig sabihin, endless. Wala siyang limit na. Pag infinite sequence, laging may presence ng ellipsis sa dulo. Pero hindi to kagaya nung kanina sa example sa finite sequence ha. Dito kasi, after the ellipsis, we don't have a term anymore. Okay? Emphasizing that this is, parang it will extend infinitely. Okay? Following the same pattern for each of the respective sequence. Okay, so for example number 1, ang gagawin na lang natin, for example, ay i-generate natin yung pattern na sinusundan ng bawat sequence. Okay? So, for example number 1, this is the sequence of the multiples of 5. For number 2, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, this is the sequence of natural numbers. Next, for example number 3, you have 0, 1, 4, 9, 16. Okay, so this is the sequence of perfect square numbers. And lastly, you have 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay? Ito yung maganda sa sequence kasi nga, since order matters, kaya a term can appear more than once. Kaya, ganun yung nangyari dito sa ating example number 4. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So, ibig sabihin, after 1, alam natin na 0 ulit yung kasunod niya. So, this is the sequence of alternating zeros and ones. Okay. So since we're now done with all the illustrations, we know already what a sequence is. Also, we have discussed the two kinds of sequence. Let us now get to work. I have prepared a couple of exercises that we'll be working on. Okay, so let's begin. Now find the next three terms of each sequence. Okay, so I have 4 examples here. Now, let's get to work. And by the way, class, before we start our exercises, you should keep in mind that to find the succeeding terms of a given sequence, the first thing that you need to do is to search for a pattern using the given terms of the sequence. Don't forget, a sequence usually uh, has a rule. And this rule is our way to find the value of the succeeding term. Okay, so now we're all set. Let us now answer example number 1. Okay, so let's have the first sequence. We have 25, 17, 9. So let's find the pattern. For this sequence, we can notice that the value or the values of the terms are decreasing. So from 25, naging 17 na lang siya, tapos naging 9. Now, ang tanong dyan, anong ginawa nating operation kay 25 at naging 17 na lang siya? Na ginawa rin natin kay 17 para maging 9 na lang siya. Okay? So, since pababa yung value, ibig sabihin, we have subtracted a certain number of units sa mga preceding terms. So, ilan kaya ang difference ng 25 at ng 17? Okay. So, the next term is 8 less than any preceding number. So, what does that mean? If I'm going to subtract 8 from 25, it will give me 17. Same goes with 17. 17, if I'm going to subtract 8 from 17, it will give me 9. So, I'll be expecting that that the next terms of this sequence will follow the same pattern. Okay, so with that in mind, we can now give the next 3 terms of this sequence. And the next 3 terms are 1, negative 7, and negative 15. Next, for letter B, example letter B, you have 0.5, 1.5, and 4.5. Now, you have to take note that sequence is not just limited to addition and subtraction. Okay, we still have other operations like multiplication, division. We can also have exponents here, okay, square root or radicals. Yun, yung mga iba-ibang operation or series of operations. Now, for this example, I have used multiplication here. So, the next term is actually 3 times the preceding term. So, nakuha ko si 1.5 because I have multiplied 0.5 sa 3. Likewise, nakuha ko si 4.5 because I multiplied 1.5 sa 3 rin. Okay? So, with that being said, we can now find the next 3 terms. And the answer, the terms are 13.5, 40.5, and 121.5. Okay, so for example letter C, we have the sequence 1, -4, 9, -16. So the first very noticeable pattern na meron dito sa sequence na to is that the terms have alternating signs. Moreover, the absolute value, so when you say absolute value, the distance of unit away from 0, okay? So, absolute value of each term corresponds to the square of a natural number. This is an additional information. Kapag meron tayong obvious na pattern, like for this case, alam natin na parang, square of, ano to perfect squares to Pero ang problema, meron silang alternating signs. Kapag ganito yung nangyari, ibig sabihin, there is the presence of -1. Okay? Yun lang yun kung bakit naging alternating yung signs nila. And yeah, so with that being said, since these are squares of natural numbers, so natapos tayo sa 4 squared. So the next natural number will be 5 squared, 6 squared, and 7 squared. So the next term, 3 terms therefore are 25 positive, kasi negative 2. So next, you have -36, and lastly, you have positive 49. And for our last example, you have the sequence 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. So dito naman sa pattern na to, ginamit natin lahat ng mga preceding terms. Okay, so as you can observe, pag pinag-add ko to, you have 2 plus 3, it will give me 5. 3 plus 5 is equals to 8. 5 plus 8 is equal to 13. So, ibig sabihin, makukuha natin yung next term pag pinag-add natin yung dalawang preceding na terms. So, gagawin lang natin yung same pattern para makuha natin yung next term after 13. So, 8 plus 13 is 21. And then, you have 13 plus 21, you have 34. And then, you have 21 plus 34, that is 55. So, therefore, the next three terms are 21, 34, and 55. Okay. Okay, so to conclude this presentation, let me just give you the formal definition of a sequence. Okay, so a sequence is a succession of numbers in a specific order. So, class, every time we deal with sequence, yung pinaka-first step talaga natin lagi is to look for a pattern. Yun talaga yung unang step niya. Kasi, yung pattern na yun, yun yung magiging way natin kung paano natin mahahanap yung mga succeeding terms ng isang sequence. Okay? So for our Hall of Fame, for this presentation, everybody meet Francois Edward Anatole Lucas. Okay, so he is a French mathematician who invented the game puzzle Tower of Hanoi. Okay, so our first session. Now, if you have any questions, please leave a comment on our LMS chat box. And I'll try to give a response as fast as I could. Okay, so let's call it a day. Until our next session, God bless you, stay safe. Now, my quote for the day is, even the hardest puzzles have a solution. Now, this has been Miss Yana, and I'll see you sa next video natin. Bye!